Today, I'm sharing how you can turn unexpected inspiration into a standout text design perfect for the holiday season. And the coolest part, this idea works for any niche or holiday all year round. Let's jump straight to my computer to get started. Let's go. Okay, so welcome to my computer screen. Now, let me show you what it was that inspired me to come up with the text design for today's video tutorial, and basically to show you that you can effectively find inspiration throughout the day from the most unlikely of sources. So I was actually in my kitchen with my son earlier today, and we had a previous episode of The Price is Right playing on the TV. And as I was watching this particular episode, this contestant came on stage with the shirt that you can see on the screen right now. And basically it was a bucket list for things obviously that he wanted to accomplish in order to be on the game show The Price is Right. I got thinking to myself, given the fact that we are getting closer and closer to the holiday season, Christmas, I wonder if I could actually come up with a bucket list, something funny that would be applicable for the Christmas holiday season that people would want to wear at any event, or maybe one's visiting other people's homes or whatnot pertaining to the Christmas season. So this was the design that came out of the blue, inspired me. I wasn't sure exactly what was on his shirt when he first came down the contestant road, but I was really happy that when he actually, got the correct bid and got up on stage, I had a real nice, clean vision of the design. I took a screenshot of it, as you can see over here, and now it was time to get creating. I wasn't going to copy it verbatim, but I was going to use it as inspiration for a Christmas-themed bucket list design. So the first thing that I wanted to do was to take a screenshot of the shirt so that I can actually get ChatGPT to analyze the shirt for me in order to cut down on some of the work in terms of coming up with an effective prompt for it. So in order to take a screenshot on a PC, if you've never done it before, on the keyboard, what you want to do is you want to press on the following keys simultaneously: the Shift key, the Windows key, and the letter S. And when you do that, as you can see, my computer screen has grayed out, and now the cursor icon has turned into a plus symbol. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press and hold the left mouse button on my keyboard, and I'm just going to click out and drag out an area. As you can see, the area that I've dragged out has, the grayness of it has disappeared. And when I let go of the mouse button, that part of the image is going to be saved in my computer's clipboard. So I'm letting go there. Okay. And then the next thing that I did was I jumped onto ChatGPT. Let's get that back up over there. I'm not going to paste it in because I already have it pasted in over here. Okay. If I had to click on it, you would see it. And basically all I stated to ChatGPT was, can you please analyze the t-shirt design in the attached image? I wanted it to be specific. I wanted to give me information just on the text design, not on what was going on in the scene behind him or who the person was or whatnot. And as you can see here, ChatGPT came back with a really detailed analysis of that t-shirt design. So the t-shirt design in the image incorporates a bucket list theme, which is what we wanted, with a playful twist relevant to the Price is Right game show. Here is an analysis of the design. So we got an analysis of the text design, then of the graphic elements that were used, the color scheme, the purpose, and the audience. Now, the next thing I asked ChatGPT was, great, now I would like to incorporate the style of the design to create a funny bucket list for Christmas. Keeping to 3 items in the list, can you please give me 5 different 3-item lists pertaining to this holiday season that would be appealing to the general public? And then ChatGPT came back to me with the following. And as you can see here, the list that I was provided incorporate different types of categories for the Christmas season. For example, list 1 is the classic Christmas hustle: hang the lights, eat all the cookies, avoid Aunt Karen's questions. The second one, holiday survival goals. So again, these are for the general public, but again, ChatGPT went ahead and categorized them for me, which was brilliant because already I'm going to be able to target my designs to a select demographic within the general public, but really not niching too down deeply that it's only going to be focusing on either an occupation or a particular niche that not everybody is going to appreciate or will want to wear. So we've got list number 2, holiday survival goals: wrap presents on time, untangle the tree lights, stay on Santa's nice list. And if you're anything like me, untangling the Christmas lights, it's a really difficult task to stay on Santa's nice list when you're doing that task. I wanted ChatGPT to come back with a prompt that I could use in order to create a really cool title for this particular design with the words bucket list. Yeah, again, I could go ahead and do it in Canva. I could do it in Photoshop or Photopea or whatnot. But guys, I just want to show you the effectiveness of these tools and how, you can utilize them to really cut down on the processing time, particularly if time is of a limit for you. If you've got a family and you don't have a lot of time to sit at the computer to actually go ahead and create and balance everything, you can use AI to help you out with this. And one of my favorite platforms currently to use, because of the fact that it is really great with respect to text, is ideogram. So let me show you what the prompt that ChatGPT came back with me. So basically, I jumped ahead here. So great. Now please provide me a prompt to use an ideogram AI to generate the words bucket list, to include in this design along with a Christmas related icon to complement the words. As with the design I provided you, I would like each of these three components to be showcased in one single Christmas color that will work well together when placed next to each other. The word bucket should be in a thick, bold font and in capital letters. The word list should be presented in a script font that will complement the font used for bucket. Take a bit of time when you are prompting ChatGPT or Google Gemini or any other AI chatbot so that you can give it as much information to get back what it is that you're looking for. More often than not, we get frustrated in that we don't get what it is that we want from these bots because our prompts are very basic. And ChatGPT came back with the following prompt. Create a festive text design featuring the word bucket list with the following details. You can see it put them in 4 bullet points. The word bucket should be in a bold, thick, all caps font using a single Christmas themed color, either red, green, or gold. I didn't give it the colors, but it went ahead and put them in for me. The word list should complement bucket with an elegant flowing script font in the same color. Now this is where I wasn't too happy with ChatGPT because I did ask it to give it to me in 3 different colors, each of those 3 components. But I went ahead and I wanted to see what ideogram was going to come back to me with. Include a Christmas-themed icon such as a festive bucket filled with candy canes, ornaments, or holly, placed next to or subtly integrated with the words, and ensure the overall style is cheerful, clean, and visually appealing, with all elements harmonized in one cohesive Christmas color palette. Again, could you imagine if you had to sit down and come up with that? You probably could. But it would probably have taken you a lot longer than ChatGPT would, took in order to present it to me. So again, don't be afraid of using AI to help you. It is not a cop-out. You are not, doing something sacrilegious because you are using these tools, which, we as humans have created in order to make our lives more efficient and better. So let's use them. So that was the prompt. What I did then was I just highlighted it within the quotations. Control-C on the keyboard, and the next thing was to head over to ideogram. I also tried Leonardo too as well. Leonardo also does give me some pretty good designs when I'm creating them. So as you can see, we've got some of the generated captions here in ideogram, and they look really, really great. Let me also show you what Leonardo AI came back to me with too as well. Leonardo did a pretty good job too as well. For Leonardo, what I did was I made sure, as with ideogram, that the ratio was set to 9:16. I find it a lot easier to transfer, anything that you generate in AI from a 9:16 canvas as opposed to, the landscape format or 1-to-1 ratio. What I did too as well was the preset style, I changed it to illustration. And as you can see here, Leonardo came back to me with some pretty decent design captions too as well. It started adding in a lot of borders, with this Christmas ornamentation here too as well. I decided that I was going to go with bucket list from the first one, but I wanted to incorporate a different bucket with holiday ornaments in it rather from this one. So the first thing I did was I downloaded this particular design, and to do so you can just click on it. Obviously it opens up. At the top here you see 3 dots. You're going to come down and you're going to choose download, and you're going to download it as a JPEG if you're using the free version. Now, don't worry about the fact this is 70% quality, because what you can do then is you can go to a website called CapCut.com. It's the online version of CapCut. In fact, here's the one that I got from Leonardo, which I was going to be using this particular bucket from. Now, all you need to do is when you get to the homepage for CapCut, this is what it's going to look like. Down here where it says Image Upscaler, you're going to click on it. It'll open up another page for you. You're going to click and drag whatever image that you're going to use. Let me just grab one over here. You're going to drop it here, which currently happens to be the same one. All right, you're going to click out of it, and then you've got your different options. You want to upscale it to 4K, so you're going to click on it, you click on upscale, and you wait for the upscale process to happen. You'll get a little download button here instead of this arrow here, and you can just download it to your computer. I'm not going to do that now because I've already done that. Okay, now that we have the captions that we created on Ideogram and Leonardo upscaled, it's time to take them over to our favorite AI image editing program. You can use Canva, Photopea, or Photoshop. I prefer to use Photoshop. It gives me that little bit more extra precision, and I can actually crop things a little bit more efficiently. Photopea is my next best choice. Canva, when I have something really simple to extrapolate or just the background, it's my go-to platform because understandably it works it out very, very quickly too as well. So let's head over to Photoshop right now. As you can see here, I already have a canvas opened up on screen here. I filled it in with black, and the size of the canvas, for those of you who are new to the print-on-demand industry, and the size is 4500 pixels by 5400 pixels. This is sort of the industry standard, particularly with respect to t-shirts. So let's just hide the text over here. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to do was to extrapolate the bucket from the design that I was actually happy with, which is the one that you see here on screen. Now, in order to do that, what you want to do, making sure you're on the layer, you want to take your rectangular marquee tool and you want to just open up a square or rectangle just around to get those marching ants around the components that you want to keep, okay? And as you can see here, I've let go, those marching ants are going around it. I'm going to hit Control J on the keyboard to graduate this component of the design onto its own separate layer. Now, if I turn off the rest of the design, all I'm going to see is what you see on the screen here. Let's grab the Move tool. We're going to bring that up a little bit. Now, in order to get rid of the background, the first easiest tool in Photoshop that you can use is in fact the magic wand tool. So if I just click on that on the icon, or W on the keyboard, if I click anywhere on the gray area, you can see that it has made a really nice selection, zooming in over here, around the perimeter of the entire design. The only parts that haven't been selected in terms of gray is this area here and this part here, just underneath this candy cane. But I can actually rectify that by clicking in both of those areas, and as you can see here, I've got the entire object selected. Okay, now what I want to do is, in order to get rid of the gray, I need to reverse the selection, because right now what I've told Photoshop to do is to select the inside part of the component of the design. I don't want to delete that, I want to keep that. So on the keyboard, I'm going to type in simultaneous order Control Shift I, and now what that has done is it has reversed the selection. And if I go ahead and click on the layer mask tool, the gray is going to disappear. And as you can see here, all I'm left with, as you can see here, is a nice selection for this clip art. I'm going to zoom out, and as you can still see, there is a little bit of the gray from the box that I selected. So I'm going to hit B on the keyboard for my brush. I'm painting with black, and when you paint with black on a mask, you are hiding. When you're painting with white, you are revealing. So given the fact that I'm with black, all I'm going to do is I'm going to paint over the area where I see gray, and now that has been masked completely. Okay, now I already went ahead and I removed the background from the other design with respect to bucket list, as you can see here. Let me zoom up here. So it's just a question of putting this clip art in its place. We're going to increase the size a little bit, okay, and just place it until we are actually happy with it. Okay, now that works really well for me. Next thing that I want to do is I'm going to save this aspect of the design in Photoshop as a PNG with a transparent background, and I'm going to continue the rest of the design in Canva. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the background. As here, it's been turned off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control Shift S on the keyboard to save it, and then I'm going to save it as a PNG. Make sure that you change it to PNG, because if you don't, then it's going to save with the background and you're back to square one. Okay, I've already went ahead and saved it, so there's no need to do that. Let's head over to Canva and finish the last part of this design process. Okay, so here we are in Canva. What I did was I dragged in the part that I saved in Photoshop. And given the fact that I was working in Photoshop at 4500 pixels by 5400 pixels, and because when I created the canvas in Canva, I chose the dimensions of 4500 pixels by 5400 pixels and laid it in, it sat nicely in its place. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is we want to bring in the checkmark squares. As you can see, I already went ahead and did that. What I did was I clicked on elements. In the search area, the search field, I typed in checkmark box, and obviously Canva came back to me with all of the various checkmark boxes, empty or otherwise, that are on offer for me to use. So I went ahead and I chose this one over here, this squarish one. So I'm going to click on that. As you can see, it's black and I already have a black background. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to change the color to white. So I'm going to click on the color picker, we'll change it to white, and then I'm going to grab this handle here and I'm going to move it in place. And then obviously I can resize it accordingly. All right. And when you're happy with it, just click on this icon to duplicate. All right, and then just drag it down, and you can see that Canva is giving you these dotted lines here, which is giving you an idea of the spacing from one component to another. That is really helpful. We're going to be choosing 3, so I'm going to click on it one more time, and as you can see, Canva already went ahead and placed it where it should be for me. Okay, so we've got the checkmark box already laid out, and I already went ahead and did that previously. I went ahead and actually did 4 because as I was working on it, I thought 3 was going to be a little too weak in terms of balancing out the entire design. So I asked ChatGPT to give me a 4th for all of those 5 lists. Again, you can do it if you want to, or you can just leave it with 3. It's totally up to you. With 4, I laid them out as you can see here. And then it was a question of heading on to ChatGPT and basically choosing a font for obviously the list items. And as you can see, in this particular case, I chose Palalabas Wide. I really like the fact that as a font, it was quite close to the font of Bucket. If you just take a look at the T's there, the T at the top part, it's quite narrow, as is the case with the T in Bucket, even in terms of the letter E. So you might want to pick and choose what fonts you think are going to go well with whatever Leonardo or Ideogram generate for you. Again, it's not always going to generate the same. What I generated, you're definitely not going to generate on your computer. So you want to take a bit of time to make sure that you choose a nice, crisp, clean font that is going to complement your design. Don't choose a script font for the list items. It will look too crowded, too mucked up, and it won't look good. And basically, it was just a question of typing in the first one, duplicating it, and then typing the second, third, and fourth. And as you can see, I already went ahead and did it. So bucket list, dodge ball, Santa's asking for donations, wrap presents on time, untangle the tree lights, and stay on Santa's nice list. And as you can see, they're nicely spaced out from one to another. We've got a nice balance in terms of the design. Now, the final thing that you can do is you can either obviously duplicate the whole entire page and then go ahead and click on them and, change them manually. And if you're only doing like 2 or 3, as was the case in mine, I did 4 more. I just went ahead and typed them out myself. If you're creating a lot of them, you might want to use the bulk create tool that Canva has on offer. This is another reason why I wanted to create this design in Canva, because if I go ahead and create another 20 or 30 of them, using the bulk create tool on Canva will definitely help cut down on a lot of time. I'm going to leave a link to an episode that I created on how to use the bulk create tool. I'm not going to do it here in this video because it'll make this video far too long, but suffice it to say, it's really easy to do. If you've never done it, I would highly recommend taking a look at that video. It's not a very long video, but it'll go a long way in terms of cutting down the processing time. So here was the next one here. Hang the lights, eat all the cookies, avoid Aunt Karen's questions, and take an accidental nap under the tree. Now, when you have, multiple lines, as is the case over here, you have either the option of leaving it centered, as is the case, or if you want to bring, whatever words are on the second line to left justify, just click on it, and then you've got the icon here, which is the alignment tool. Click on it, and it goes straight to a left justify. Again, it's a question of preference, totally up to you, but I just showed you how to go about doing it. See which works best, and then go with that one. Here's the third one. Watch Home Alone again, drink all the eggnog, win the ugly sweater contest, sneak a bite of the Christmas ham early. The next one, find parking at the mall, buy gifts for everyone, forget one person, oops, return unwanted gifts with zero shame. So as you can see, there's a comical nature to all of them, and you can really go to town with the help of ChatGPT to create some Christmas-orientated bucket lists that are going to put a smile on the face of potential customers, whether or not they're buying it for themselves or for a friend, colleague, or loved one. Maybe there's somebody in their family or a friend that they know who has a certain, nuance about them that they know that one of these particular bucket lists would really ring true with them. They would really appreciate it. But by giving these potential bucket lists for Christmas, you are increasing, the fun, the festive aspect of it. And hopefully in seeing these particular designs being on offer in your respective shops, whatever the marketplace that you're selling on, will increase the possibility of you landing more sales and having a really great fourth quarter this particular business calendar year. So I certainly hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel and becoming part of the community here on YouTube. And now what I want to do is I want to invite you to click on the thumbnail that has just appeared on your screen right now, bent on helping you to reach more success with your print-on-demand business. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you there.